person on the scene, it won't be the odds are that the necessary first aid will be simple enough for a child to perform. It's so important that we could die if it's not applied immediately. What can we do to make our odds a little better? We're going to play a game, first aid quiz. The object of the game is to determine what you know about first aid and teach you some of what you don't know. The object is to help save lives.
Oh, he's not moving.
Here, help me get him off the tree.
No, don't move him.
Oh, I didn't see him. He just, all of a sudden, they were in front of the car.
It's going to be all right.
We thought it was something. Hurry.
The first thing to remember in any accident is to remain calm and think. There's a great difference between fast action and panic. Here's question number 1. It's multiple choice.
Go in that house right there and call the police. Give them the address and tell them to send an ambulance.
Okay.
Hurry up.
No, here. Call my doctor and give him my name.
Who do you call? Police or fire department or doctor? The correct answer is to call the fire or police department. They are best equipped to handle emergencies where time is critical.
Go into that house and call the police. Tell them to send an ambulance and give them the address. Hurry up.
Okay. Why is he so still?
Dead. He's knocked out. He must have hit his head.
Check his breathing. His pulse. Oh, I'm so scared.
He's all cut up.
Question number 2. What's the first thing to do? Check breathing or give water? When a person looks seriously hurt, the first things to check are always breathing and pulse. Though basic first aid is mostly common sense, there is one rule that must never be forgotten. It can be remembered by the letters A, B, C, and it states that airway, breathing, and circulation are first aid's first concern. Let me explain that. The airway, A, is the passage between the mouth and the lungs. It must be open and clear for proper breathing. Breathing is simple inhaling and exhaling the flow of air in and out of our lungs. And circulation, C, is the movement of blood throughout our bodies as pumped by the heart. A, B, C, all vital functions. And this is why airway, breathing, and circulation are the first things to be checked.
Check his breathing and his pulse.
He's not breathing.
Is he dead?
Slap his back. How's his pulse?
It's okay.
How's his airway?
Can you give him mouth-to-mouth breathing?
What do you do when someone isn't breathing? Mouth to mouth immediately, or check airway first? ABC, remember? If he isn't breathing, check his airway. Artificial respiration is useless if the airway is blocked.
Check his airway.
I'm not sure how.
Put your hand under his neck and pull his head back.
All right, give me a hand. Move it.
No, don't do it. If he has a broken neck, you'll kill him.
Should you move a victim if there's a chance of broken bones? Sometimes or never? Normally you would never move a victim if there were a chance of broken bones, especially bones in the neck. But someone who isn't breathing is going to die in a few minutes. If you don't, clear his airway. In this case, you've got no choice.
I thought we moved him over there in the grass.
That's it. Okay, now pull his head back. And open up his mouth real wide. Now, is there anything blocking the airway?
What do I look for?
There are 2 things to look for. Here's George Bliss, who teaches emergency medicine at the University of Southern California.
If the victim is unconscious and on her back, her tongue may have sagged backward, as in this victim. By simply bringing the head back, the airway can be opened. A second possibility is that fluid, such as blood, vomit, or saliva, has formed a seal at the back of the throat. This would also block the air passage.
He's got blood in his mouth.
It bit his tongue.
Here, use this.
Well, shouldn't we turn him over and drain his mouth?
How do you clear a victim's mouth? Handkerchief or turn him over? The best way to clear a victim's mouth is the quickest way. Use your index finger covered by a clean cloth if you have one. Turning him over would put pressure on his lungs, making it more difficult to breathe.
Here, use this.
He's breathing.
Oh, he's choking. Get some water to clear his throat.
Oh, get some.
No, you
Can you give the victim water to clear his throat? Yes? Give him water, or no, he could drown. Never give an unconscious or semi-conscious victim water. It might go down his lungs, and that could drown him.
No, you could drown him.
Is there anything else we should do?
Yeah, we gotta do something for shock.
No, he's just done it.
What do you do for shock? Shock is the body's reaction to sudden and unusual stress. The pulse becomes rapid and faint, pupils of the eyes grow large, and the skin turns cold and clammy. The treatment for shock is simple, and it applies to every accident you will encounter. It should become automatic. 1. Make the victim comfortable. 2. Keep him warm. 3. Keep him still. That's it.
Just done it.
Treatment for shock is just common sense, but it's absolutely essential.
Here comes the ambulance.
Oh, hey, John.
What happened? He fell off his bike, and I think he hit his head pretty bad. When we got here, he wasn't breathing. How long wasn't he breathing, do you know?
Maybe a minute. Well, his airway was blocked.
The air passage, breathing, and pulse are checked at every link in the life-saving chain. At the accident scene, in the ambulance, and again when the boy reaches the hospital. It is the single most important procedure in first aid. The boy would have died if his airway had not been cleared. One of the most frightening things that can happen to any of us is to come across a large accident. There are many victims. We don't know exactly what's wrong with them, and there's no one to help us.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, he's bleeding. Mommy.
Wait. Are you okay? Huh? Come on with me. Come on, baby.
Right here. Can I do anything to help?
This is an accident.
Will you get me taken?
No, that's okay.
Come on.
Go call the
Please,
fire
let me
department.
take her. Please.
Please, go call the fire department. Tell them there's 3 people hurt, all right? That's okay. That's the best thing that you can do.
All right.
The mother isn't breathing. The boy has a weak pulse. We're not sure what's wrong with the little girl. Would you know what to do now?
Lost an awful lot of blood in this drain. Oh, look at that.
She's not breathing.
Check the airway.
Okay. Got a mouthful of teeth. Oh. Yeah, that was clear. Damn it, she's still not breathing.
Start mouth to mouth.
Right here?
Start mouth to mouth.
Yeah, let's take her out so their chest can
There's
expand.
no time to move her.
Must you lie a victim flat to perform mouth-to-mouth? no, needn't be flat, or yes, must be flat. The quickest way is the best. Unless there's a heavy weight on the chest, don't wait to move her.
There's no time to move her.
Okay.
Working?
Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is first aid's most basic tool. It does the work of normal breathing for a person who cannot breathe by himself. It's not hard to learn, but it must be practiced. Here are the steps. Bend the victim's head back and keep it in that position. Pinch off her nostrils with your free hand. Seal your lips around the victim's open mouth and blow until her chest rises. Remove your mouth. This enables you to inhale and permits air to exhale from the victim's mouth. Repeat this process in a regular rhythm until the victim is able to breathe for herself. Be aware that you may have to maintain this process for up to 4 hours. In some instances, because of damage to the victim's mouth or jaw, a similar technique may be necessary. Mouth-to-nose breathing. The victim's mouth is sealed off by the rescuer's cheek, while the rescuer's mouth is placed over the victim's nose and air is blown forcibly into steps A and B. The victim is breathing and his airway is clear. The next step, of course, is C, circulation. You see that the victim is badly cut. He could bleed to death in a matter of minutes. Breathing comes under circulation.
Oh, God, the bleeding won't stop. Here, let me give you this. It's not working. Oh, but just a minute. Now tie this around it, okay? Lisa, tighter. It's as tight as it'll go. Really hard. Where? On the cut. Here, let me do it. Here. Do you think we should make a tourniquet? No, that's too dangerous. But he's gonna bleed to death. Lisa, will you help?
How do you control excessive bleeding? Use tourniquet or direct pressure. The best way to control bleeding is with pressure. Pressure applied directly to the wound. And to apply pressure, push hard with your hand right on top of the cut. A tourniquet is a very drastic measure, only be used as a last resort. Direct pressure will usually control bleeding.
Starting to slow down a little bit, and that's good. And now we can change the bandages so it won't get infected. No, we'll leave these on and put new ones on top.
What do you do once excessive bleeding is stopped? Remove bandages and clean wound, or put new bandages over old? The most important thing is to stop the bleeding. That's been done by applying direct pressure, but you must keep it stopped, so don't disturb the clotting wound by removing bandages. Simply apply new bandages over the old.
It's starting to clot now, so that's good. See how he is. Oh, I think he's gonna vomit. What should I do? Turn his head to one side. Don't you think I should turn him over? No.
If the victim vomits, what should you do? Turn him over or turn his head? The important thing is to ensure that the airway remains open and the victim doesn't choke. This usually can be done by simply tilting the victim's head to one side, moving him as little as possible.
Here. Oh, your arm. Think he's all right? He's in shock. Here, loosen his belt. Belt? All right. Hey, Jack, let me borrow your coat.
Is it covered?
Yeah. Oh, here, let me put this on his head.
Be careful.
She's in pretty bad shape.
Is anything broken?
I don't know. I checked her out on the seat, but maybe her arm. Yeah, her arm's broken.
I'll get something to make a splint.
Okay. Listen, Joni, why don't you go and check on the little girl?
Man, this is all I can find.
Oh, this will do. It'll be fine. Look, why don't you take off your shoelaces and use it to tie it up? Here you go.
Shouldn't we set it first? It won't heal right.
No, I don't want to set it. I just want to keep it from moving.
How do you treat a broken bone? Set it or immobilize it. Never try to set a broken bone yourself. The idea is to prevent further injury by keeping the bones from moving. Splint the break with any rigid material you can find.
Got it. Can you get my hand out? She's still unconscious? Yeah, she's coming to a little bit. That's good.
Help will arrive soon. All that's left to do now is to stay with the victims, keep them warm, and talk to them. Reassure them that everything's going to be okay. Everything will be okay because 4 people knew basic first aid. Otherwise, 2 victims might have died needlessly. The procedures you've just seen were simple and uncomplicated. I'd now like to review the answers to our 13 questions and make sure you have all the steps. 1. Your emergency telephone number is the police or fire department. 2. The first step after assessing an accident is to check the ABCs: airway, breathing, circulation. When you've found that someone has stopped breathing, immediately check his airway. To clear the airway, first tilt back the victim's head. Remove blood and other debris from his mouth with your fingers. Point 6. Never give water to anyone who's unconscious. 7. Treat all accident victims for shock by making them comfortable, keeping them warm, and keeping them still. 8. When mouth-to-mouth breathing is required, don't waste time by laying the victim flat. 9. Circulation, the third of our ABC steps, includes both pulse and bleeding. 10. Bleeding is best controlled by pressure applied directly to the wound. Don't remove old bandages. New ones go right over the old. 12. If the victim vomits, simply tilt his head to one side. Move him as little as possible. And 13. Splint broken bones with whatever material is available. The point is to prevent further injury. This is the conclusion of part 1 of our first aid quiz. We've dealt here with some of the basic concepts and tools of first aid. I hope that now if you're confronted with an accident, you're better equipped to deal with it.